Good morning, everyone. On today's objective, we are going to multiply integer. In our last lesson, we were also multiplying integers, and last time we were multiplying two integers. 3 times -2, here's two more integers, -3 times -2. In our example number 3, we were multiplying -3 times 2, so two integers. But in today's lesson, we have more than two integers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 integers. This one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 integers. And this one has more integers. So we are going to follow the same rules as before. We're going to multiply their absolute values. And we know that if we have the same signs, the answer will be positive. If we have different signs, the answer will be negative. But there's a faster way to find out if your answer is going to be positive or negative based on the number of negatives that you have. So it says that if you have an odd number of negatives, the answer will be negative. And if you have an even number of negatives, the answer will be positive. So to help you understand what I mean by odd number of negatives and even number of negatives, this is what I mean. For example, if I count the number of negatives on my first example, I have 1, 2 negative numbers, and 2 is an even number. That means that my answer will be positive. So I can say that my answer is going to be, whatever I get, the answer is going to be positive. Now, to help you review which numbers are even or odd, I have this little number line. So 0 is an even number, 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd. And if I go in the other direction, it's the same thing. -1 would be odd, -2 would be even, -3 would be odd, and -4 would be even, and -5 is odd. All right? So just remember, 0 is in the middle, that's even, and from there is it alternates between even and odd. All right, so now that we know that we have two negative numbers, the answer would be two negative numbers. That's an even number of negatives, so the answer will be positive. Now let's look at this one. I have 1 negative, 2 negatives, 3 negatives, 4 negatives, 5 negatives. And 5 is an odd number. I have 5 is an odd number. So that means that my answer, looking at my rule, the answer, whatever I get, is going to be a negative answer. For number 3, I'm going to count the number of negatives. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 6, I have 6 negative numbers, and 6 is an even number. That means that whatever I get, the answer is going to be a positive answer. All right, so now that I know if my answers are going to be positive or negative, all I got to do is multiply my numbers, right? So to multiply my numbers, I'm just going to multiply the numbers. And just to show you that the answer is going to match, I am going to follow the rules. So if I take the absolute value of 2 and then take the absolute value of -2, that would be just 2 times 2, which is going to be 4. These two numbers have different signs, so my answer is going to be negative. I'm going to multiply these numbers now. I have two numbers with different signs, right? Different signs. So different signs, the answer is going to be negative. 3 times 1 is 3, but since one of the numbers is negative, my answer is going to be negative. Now I'm going to multiply my last two numbers. I have two numbers with the same sign. So same signs, when I multiply their absolute value, the answer is going to be positive. So that's going to be positive 12. And that's exactly what we knew it was going to be, that the answer was going to be positive 12. For this other one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply my first two numbers. These two numbers have the same sign, so that means that the answer is going to be positive. 3 times 1 is 3. I'm going to multiply these two numbers. These two numbers have the same sign, same signs, the answer is positive, so that would be 4 times 2 is 8. And I'm going to bring my last number down. Now I'm going to multiply these two numbers. These two numbers have the same sign, so that means that the answer is going to be positive. 3 times 8 is 24, and I'm going to bring the last number down. These two numbers have different signs. Different signs, the answer is going to be negative. 24 times 1 is 24, and we knew that the answer was negative from before, so the answer is negative 24. And then for our last example, we said that the answer is going to be positive, so let's see if it's true. So I'm multiplying two numbers with the same sign. Same signs, the answer is positive, so that would be just positive 1. I'm going to multiply these two. Same signs, that means that the answer is going to be positive here, same signs. That means that the answer is going to be positive 1. And now I'm just going to multiply all the numbers that I have left. Here's two same numbers with the same sign. My answer is going to be positive. I'm going to bring the last number. And then 1 times 1 is 1. And since both numbers are positive, my answer is going to be positive. And we knew the answer was going to be positive by looking at the number of negatives that we have. And that's how you multiply more than 2 integers.